An assumption was made to explain how the world worked. It was accepted because early evidence supported it. Instead, testing revealed outcomes that could not be reconciled. These were not careless ideas. They were measured, published, and widely trusted. Each was meant to stabilize understanding. What followed forced revision, correction, or abandonment. Science advances by testing what appears reasonable. Assumptions guide where questions are asked. Most survive scrutiny, some do not. When they stumble, knowledge doesn't just fade away. To understand how this unfolded, each case must be examined one by one. We begin with 10. The uniform memory decay assumption. Psychologists assumed memories faded at a predictable rate. Forgetting was expected to follow a consistent curve. This model guided early learning theory. Testing showed emotionally significant memories resisted decay. Some memories strengthened over time instead of weakening. Trauma research had to account for persistence rather than loss. Next comes 9. The calorie balance weight loss assumption. Weight change was assumed to depend only on calories consumed and burned. Energy balance models dominated nutritional science. Dietary guidance followed simple accounting logic. Metabolic experiments revealed hormonal regulation altered energy use. Identical calorie intake produced different outcomes. Obesity research shifted toward metabolic complexity. Moving on to 8. The static intelligence assumption. Cognitive ability was treated as fixed after early development. IQ was assumed to represent a stable ceiling. Educational systems were built around this belief. Longitudinal testing showed scores changed with environment. Nutrition, schooling, and opportunity altered outcomes. Limits were replaced with developmental models. Now we reach 7. The rational decision-making assumption. Economic theory assumed humans act logically when informed. Markets were modeled on optimal choice behavior. Deviation was treated as noise. Behavioral experiments showed bias and emotion dominated decisions. Irrational patterns repeated consistently. Economic theory was forced to adapt. Next is 6. The stress enhances performance assumption. Pressure was believed to sharpen focus and efficiency. High-stress environments were normalized in training. Performance was expected to rise with demand. The Yerkes-Dodson experiments showed decline beyond a threshold. Accuracy collapsed under sustained pressure. Training systems adopted controlled exposure. Halfway through the countdown brings us to 5. The observer neutrality assumption. Researchers assumed observation did not alter outcomes. Data was treated as independent of measurement. Experimental design relied on this separation. The Hawthorne studies showed behavior changed when observed. Productivity rose without material change. Research protocols were rewritten. Continuing the countdown. The genetic determinism assumption. Genes were assumed to fix biological outcomes. Inheritance was treated as destiny. Medical predictions relied on static coding. Epigenetic experiments showed environment-altered expression. Genes responded to conditions rather than dictating them. Medicine shifted toward interaction models. Now only 3 remain. The linear causation assumption. Scientists expected proportional causes and effects. Small inputs were assumed to create small outcomes. Prediction relied on this stability. Complex systems testing revealed nonlinear response. Minor changes produced disproportionate effects. Systems science replaced linear models. Just before the final one comes to, the predictability assumption. Forecasting assumed precision increased with data. Models treated variation as manageable error. Long-term prediction was considered achievable. The Lorentz experiments showed sensitivity to initial conditions. Tiny variations caused divergence. Forecasting limits were formally acknowledged. And finally, 1. The objective measurement assumption. Instruments were assumed to reveal reality without influence. Measurement was treated as neutral observation. Data was considered untouched by the process. Repeated testing showed tools altered outcomes. Observation changed what was observed. Methodology itself came under scrutiny. These assumptions were not reckless. They were reasonable within their context, but testing did not confirm them. If even foundational assumptions can fail this thoroughly, which ones are still standing only because they have not been tested yet?